episode of the Big and Blizz podcast, episode 31. Again, thank you everybody who's been with us for the last 30 and hopefully the future of the podcast. I'm your host, Blizzy, and that's Big Mike sitting across from me, and I think Big Mike's going to start it off.
Yeah, I mean, this week has been wild.
Super wild.
I mean, from the Russell Wilson trade, which we touched on last week, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Episode 30.
Yeah, now we have another huge trade. Davante Adams will be joining his former teammate and still best friend, if you check the IG out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've been like two schoolgirls.
It's like that homeboy that was in the army for 3 years and you haven't seen him for 3 years and he comes home and you're just like, oh, what's up, buddy?
I wouldn't know it about that. I've never been in the forces, but I know what you're saying, though. But yeah, Davante Adams is now a Las Vegas Raider, and I believe we touched on it last episode that Davante had bought a $12 million mansion in Las Vegas, which was a telling sign, also because Davante Adams and Derek Carr, the quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, were college teammates in Fresno. I believe they were roommates. They were best friends. They won a national. Was it? No, not. It's not national, right?
No, they won a Mountain West Conference title.
So yeah, not national champ. They won a Mountain West championship together. Broke collegiate records as obviously quarterback and wide receiver. They have that chemistry. They have that know-how. They know each other. And so he bought that mansion in Las Vegas for $12 million. And like we had touched, like I had said last week, I believe, is celebrities, athletes, people with money that go to Las Vegas, you don't buy real estate you don't buy property in Las Vegas to live in usually, right?
Well, and that's what you don't, for one. And for two,
unless you have a reason to be there long term. But go ahead.
Yeah, and then what I was going to say is it's not when you think of, hey, I'm a millionaire or billionaire, whatever.
Whatever. Money, big money.
Let's buy a vacation home. Vegas is not your vacation home.
No,
because you can roll into town, like you said.
Well, Davante would be the big dick in the locker room.
That's what I'm saying. You could, if you roll into town and you could call, say, the Palace or whatever, or Caesars or whatever.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, bro.
Or your people, whatever.
Hey, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'm rolling into town, high roller, about to blow $1 million at your shit.
Yeah, well.
They're going to be like, oh, shit, penthouse for free.
Oh, yeah. They're comping your shit just to have you in their building.
Because not only will you potentially lose a bunch of money, but the second it gets out that
Davante
you're
Adams
at that fucking hotel,
yeah,
everybody's going to be flocking to go gamble at that hotel just for the potential to bump into that person.
Yeah, maybe get an autograph picture or just
honestly, if I was in Vegas and they were like, hey, yo, fucking LeBron's at over here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My ass gonna be like, shit.
I'm gonna be over there.
Because if I'm over there for an hour, maybe LeBron just happens to walk by me. I'll be like, hey, you cool?
Fan.
Not a huge fan, but hey, you're LeBron.
Yeah, hey, greatness is greatness,
And that's the thing is, both of us are not huge LeBron fans, but if you have the opportunity to meet LeBron,
if I'm in the same small atmosphere that he is, I'm gonna get as close as I can to possibly have that interaction.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And so for him to go out and buy a $12 million home,
yeah,
we both said last time that's a huge telltale sign of where he wants to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but he buys this, and like we said, if you're a celebrity, if you're an athlete, if you have money, you're comp. You can stay in Las Vegas for free for, as long as you're there. And when you go, these celebrities or athletes go to Vegas to just party and hang out, you're there for a weekend or a week tops. So you don't want to buy property. You're going to take advantage of the free shit. So buying that place and then pairing it with Derek Carr being there and him actively recruiting you. Actually, I think I told you earlier, Big, that Derek Carr had on social media said he was trying to recruit Devontae and said, Devontae, if you come here, this is my words, not his. I'll buy you a car, car fitting. But the $12 million mansion was a telltale sign, coupled with Derek Carr being there. And then after we had recorded, we seen that, obviously Aaron Rodgers had gotten re-signed to the Packers, and we're like, well, that was kind of crazy because they said they'd be a pair no matter what. And then the Green Bay Packers franchise tagged Devontae, and we were like, oh shit. But like I told the wife, she's a huge Raiders fan, like I've said. I told her it's not the end of Devontae possibly coming to Las Vegas, because he could say he's not playing on the franchise tag, and he either sits it out and they pay him a shit ton of money, or they trade or release him, and it was a possibility, and look where we're at,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the tough thing. Is if you think about it, because all these guys, they got to realize, like, when we played football in high school and stuff, it's a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I blow my knee out, I'm not losing anything.
Yeah, but you're losing some mobility.
Yeah, but at the NFL level, that's why there's guaranteed money. Is because if these guys get hurt, they still have money. With a franchise tag, there's no guaranteed money.
No, and I didn't know that until you explained that to me.
Devontae could go out there game one, make a cut, blow his ACL.
On some Jerry Maguire shit?
And just, or some OBJ shit.
Where it almost happened in the movie, but yeah, go ahead.
Or some OBJ shit where no one touches him and he just...
Yeah.
Like, and then he's out. Like, okay, maybe the Packers honor it enough to let him stay there.
Yeah.
And he gets paid his $18 million or whatever for the franchise tag. But come contract sign time, if you're the next year, everybody's going to be like, bro.
These franchises will use anything and everything. You break a nail, I mean, quote unquote.
Facts, bro.
They're going to try to use it against you. They're trying any reason to give you bottom dollar, not top, And
it's a business.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Bobby Wagner learned that real fast.
Oof, it's tough.
And I mean, we talked about this where he spent 10 years with the squad and couldn't even find out from the head coach that he was getting cut.
That's how it works.
He found out from the media, just like everybody else.
It's the machine, It's crazy. And they just cycle through. Go ahead.
Well, as I was saying, like you said, they cycle through, and for some people, they realize it year one or year two.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby Wagner had to find it out a decade in, bro.
Yeah, this is crazy.
And it was tough. Like, you would think, like, you spend a decade at one place.
And I mean, I've known you we've been friends for 13 years now, I believe. Anyways, around there. But after knowing you for a year, we were super clicked up and close. I think that if I had to tell you something bad, I would tell you personally. I wouldn't go through a third party. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or post it on Facebook. Like,
yeah.
And then I just happen to see that shit. Like,
and it's not like you're making me a fucking ton of money. You feel me? Or winning. But it's fucking wild. The business is wild. And the machine just eats it up and spits it out. They use what they can. But congratulations to Devontae Adams to being back with your best friend.
What was his contract too? He signed
$121 million, I believe, or 21 million for 5 years. By the way, he broke the record. He's not just the highest paid receiver in NFL history. He's not just the highest paid offensive player in NFL history. He's the highest paid player in NFL history. I don't know if that's the deal overall or it can't be the yearly.
It is. So that's the thing is his contract is. I gotta find it. I exited out of it for some reason.
No, go ahead. But either way, like he's breaking records with this shit.
So what it was.
He's not even a quarterback. Usually quarterbacks have these historic records.
It was
contracts.
So it's 144.
Oh, okay.
Over 5, 28.25 a year. That's what it is. He's the highest paid wide receiver in history, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's the highest paid player based on the per year number.
Oh, it is per year.
So,
but that doesn't make sense to me.
So there was so if you think about it, there was if there was probably a contract that was signed for more years.
Oh.
For more money, which lowered the annual money.
Well, no, I think Dak Prescott makes 30 or 35 million a year. Like there's quarterbacks that make $35 million a year. I think Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott.
I have to pull my history because
that doesn't make sense to me because all the outlets, the big outlets have been saying that he is the highest paid player in NFL history, and which is crazy to me because wide receivers are usually they're divas and they're usually highly paid, but quarterbacks historically have always been the highest paid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see if I can find it.
And I've seen reports saying Davante Adams, numbers wise and everything, he's a top 5 wide receiver. But honestly, I'd say he's a top 3. Like who are the other 4 you would? Top 5. I'm not saying that they've said he's the 5th, but who would top 5 be in the NFL to you? Davante Adams would be the first one I think of. Julio Jones used to be, but not anymore. DeAndre Hopkins, but he blew his shit out last season. I don't know. Big's over here frantically searching the internet, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to see because what it was.
But yeah, as a filler, speaking of in the meantime, Julio Jones he got released, right, from the Titans?
So, okay, here you go.
Oh, sorry.
So here it is. According to Rappaport, that's Ian Rappaport for anybody who doesn't know, huge analyst, whatever. Rodgers knew that Adams was on his way to this signed extension to become the highest paid player annually in NFL history prior to the free agency. Adams' agent told Rappaport that the Packers actually offered more money than the Raiders, and he wasn't interested.
That goes back to Derek Carr.
Oh, so that's the thing is, he didn't actually get the most money annually.
Okay.
Rodgers knew that if Rodgers didn't sign, then the Packers would offer Davante that much, where he would be the highest annual number.
Got you. So I wonder why the outlets that I saw today said he was the highest paid athlete of all, or football player of all time. Either way, I mean that's a small part of the story. I mean it's a big part for his income and shit, but not a huge part of our story.
So Davante, if you look at his new contract, he's actually the 7th highest paid player in the NFL. First non-quarterback. Okay. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe that's what I saw. Because right now, Patrick Mahomes is number 1.
Yeah.
Because he signed the 10-year, $450 million contract.
$500 million. What the fuck, dude?
And then you have number 2, which actually kind of surprises me. I didn't realize he made this much money. Josh Allen.
Really? Number 2?
6 years was the contract.
They had to sign this after the season ended, right?
For $258 million.
What in the actual fuck? How many years?
6 years.
What?
So he makes $43 million. He only makes $2 million less than Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, but you know what? After the game, the playoff game against the Chiefs, that they went back and forth, I get it.
Number 3 is actually Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
With 4 years at $160. Which is wild. You want to hear this? Patrick Mahomes signing bonus. What do you think it is?
Patrick Mahomes?
On that $450 million contract.
Signing bonus probably 83?
10.
Really?
$10 million.
So it's all in the back end.
Yeah.
Wow.
His guaranteed at signing was 63.
Wow.
So listen to Josh Allen.
So if Mahomes went out and had a career-ending injury after that contract this last season, he'd only be guaranteed $63 million.
Yeah.
That shit would be wiped out. And he went and purchased half of the Kansas City Royals and all that. That's wild. Sorry, go ahead.
But listen to this. This is where it gets wild.
Go ahead.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
Makes $200 million less in the total contract.
Yeah.
What's his signing bonus?
83?
$16.5 million.
That's it? What the fuck?
But his guaranteed $40 million more than Patrick Mahomes.
Damn.
His guaranteed is $100 million at signing. That means that man could have signed that contract, walked out the door, broke his fucking cut his leg off and made $100 million. Patrick Mahomes, though, 63. Like, the Dak Prescott number is why I started looking at signing bonuses. $160 million over 4, right?
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's signing bonus,
Mm-hmm.
$66 million.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
With a guaranteed number of $95 million at signing.
Holy shit. So so they give him 63 as soon as he signed?
Because
that went to his bank account, right?
The signing bonus doesn't come out of your contract.
Right.
It's a signing bonus.
So as soon as he signed and it was official, that hit his bank account, right?
$66 million.
Okay. So how the 90 guaranteed? What does he have to do? Step out on the field for one play?
I don't. Whatever his contract says.
Oh, true.
Because it could be you
it
have to play
X amount of plays, 50%, or
whatever.
It would be,
yeah.
it'd be like 80, 90, whatever.
Number 4, since we're on this track, Deshaun Watson is the number 4 highest paid player.
And hasn't played for a season.
4 years at $156 million, making $39 million a year, with $27 million as the signing bonus.
Yeah.
And 73 guaranteed. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, everybody's heard his new contract. Aaron Rodgers, you know what his yearly? Like, obviously, we all heard his new contract. Whatever, $150 million.
It's 40 or 45, isn't it?
$50 million a year.
Shut the fuck up.
Because he's on his new contract is $3 million, or 3 years for 150,
Jeez.
almost $151 million.
H sticks. That's fucking wild. That's sorry, go ahead.
So man makes $50 million. His signing bonus, man signed his name for $40 million.
Jeez, dude. Just for the fucking pen, the ink in his pen.
101 guaranteed.
Fuck.
So Matt Ryan
Yeah.
is 6th on this list, which I find funny because this will lead into Deshaun Watson a little later.
Then I wanted, yes. No, not later. Go ahead.
So for 5 years at $150 million, he's almost at the end of this contract. It ends in 2023. So at the end of next year.
Yeah.
Makes $30 million a year, 46.5 at signing, and 94.5 was the guaranteed. And then Devontae comes in at 141. We don't know his signing bonus as of yet. It's blanked out because we don't know. We do know that the average on that would be about 25. And then Khalil Mack actually comes in at 8.
Who's now a Los Angeles Charger.
And then Russell Wilson, our new quarterback.
He's a diehard Broncos fan.
Comes in at 9. But so my thing is, the Falcons.
Hold on. Before you, I know what you're doing. I know what you're getting to. But before that, because Deshaun Watson was number 4 in this.
Yeah.
Last week, we were recording because again we recorded Thursday. And happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, we're recording late tonight, so we just slipped in after midnight. So it was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
About 30 minutes ago, probably, right?
Yeah.
So happy St. Patty's Day. But last week we recorded Thursday morning, and we were talking and trying to get live feed from Deshaun Watson's potential criminal.
Friday morning.
Oh, Friday morning.
Yeah, it was Friday because that was the day that he went in. One side of town, they were trying to give him criminal shit, and on the other side of town, he was being deposed for his
civil so
shit.
We were trying to give as many updates as we could for one side of town, like you said, criminal. If he was going to be indicted criminally, the other side of town, he was being what's it called when you
disposed. Deposition is what it was. He was given his deposition.
Deposition. On the other, literally at the same time, the grand jury was in a room seeing if they were going to indict, looking at evidence for criminal charges. On the other side of town, literally in Houston, Texas, one side of town, the other side of town, he was in a civil litigation, or not even litigation. Get there, being
probably had like a mediator,
a deposition, and he pled the 5th. He didn't speak on it, which Big was saying that could be telling. But again, we both were talking about you have your civil rights and all this, and that's a right, whether you're guilty or innocent. And now it came out after we were done recording that the grand jury did not indict. They said the evidence did not. There was no grounds to it to stand for criminal charges, and that he had done nothing wrong. And we had talked, Big and myself had talked about this in episodes long ago, that I had mentioned that the attorney that's representing these women had been known to be a quote-unquote ambulance chaser in the city of Houston, and a kind of a fraud who just chases money. So
yeah, it's one of those attorneys that mainly what he goes after.
He's a scumbag from what everybody said.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't know, dude, whatever, but it's one of those guys who goes after anything that'll get him a quick buck.
Yeah, they potentially can. And we both said that Deshaun...
And he still could.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because
O.J. Simpson got found innocent during a trial, or not guilty.
He still owed civil money.
Like $50 million or whatnot. Absolutely. It can still happen. But like we said episodes ago, is Deshaun Watson was being accused and what allegedly did this. But we also said that, until you have evidence that, it's nothing. But why I brought that up is because he was the fourth highest paid on that list. And I just wanted to let them know, give them an update from last week, that criminally there was no charges, and now the NFL is moving on, and he's able to play still. So, but go ahead and take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, he could have played last year. The Texans, just from a PR standpoint, took the
they benched him.
They did.
Yeah.
Because if you look back, it'll say, like, did not play coach's decision type of thing. Because he could have played.
Yeah.
And they took that road.
The commissioner didn't suspend him.
And they took that road, which, honestly, I applaud the Texans for.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was suspended. Well, not even suspended. He just didn't play.
Yeah, they
got paid.
Benched, yeah.
But they took the road as, hey, look, we want to make sure that we are putting that foot forward, saying, look, we support
potential victims, and just in case.
And you can look at it from both sides, where should they not have, whatever.
Yeah. They
made their choice. He made his money. But what happened now is obviously Deshaun wants to part ways, and we've known that. They tried to trade him to the Dolphins. They've tried to trade him wherever.
Yeah, that was last season.
So I guess, from what I've read, the Texans went to all the other 31 teams and said, look.
And this is dope. This is dope how they did this.
They said, look, we're trading him. We don't want him. He doesn't want to be here. Whoop-de-wop.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't wanted to be there since they got rid of D-Hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as they got rid of D-Hop, this man was like, who the fuck am I throwing to?
Mm-hmm.
But, and I guess they narrowed it down to 5 teams that had come back with
potential offer, yeah.
Something the Texans would want.
Yeah.
Because obviously not all 31 teams want him.
But mention the no trade clause, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so, sorry,
not all 31 teams want him. Like, Broncos don't want him. Like, you know what I mean? There's a list of teams that didn't want him.
Yeah.
But out of the teams that did want him, there was 5 that the Texans were like, okay, we would accept any of these 5.
Yeah.
And so they essentially gave that list of 5 and said, look, these are the teams that we are okay with trading because they've come back with good enough offers.
Mm-hmm.
You and your agent need to figure out where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Browns were one of them. There was a Dolphins. There was a couple others.
Falcons, Saints.
And so at this point, sources are saying that the Saints and the Falcons are the only teams that he has left on his list of maybes.
Gotcha.
And my thing is, I was saying, because I read an article before and I read it to you, my thing with Matt Ryan is, okay, so say he does choose the Falcons.
Yeah.
They now have 2 of the top 6 highest paid people in the NFL on their team.
Yeah, quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, they're both quarterbacks. But the weird thing that I saw was Matt Ryan, as of Friday, March, what would that be, 18th?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the Friday?
Today's the 19th, right?
18th today. So it went from the 17th, which was St. Patty's, to the 18th. So we're now technically on Friday. So today, on recording time, Matt Ryan was due a $7.5 million roster bonus
for being on the roster.
For being on the roster, he was due $7.5 million just for being on the roster.
Yeah. Just for breathing.
The Falcons got an extension to next Tuesday.
For that bonus, they don't have to give it to him until
next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So say Deshaun does decide to be a Falcon today, Friday,
or tomorrow. He's got 6 days.
And then all of a sudden they can they can cut Matt Ryan.
Yep, not paying that 7.5.
Save some money, or trade him and force another team to deal with that much money.
Yep.
That's crazy. To me, that seems.
If I was Matt Ryan, I would not want to say an Atlanta Falcon, because if Deshaun makes his choice and say it's the Saints, and they're like, "Oh, Matt, on Tuesday, here's your 7.5." I would stay. I would stay there, take that 7.5, and then be like, "I'm out. You guys obviously don't fucking want me."
Well, it's so like we said, the Browns was one of the teams.
Yeah.
Bakers came out and fucking been very vocal about not wanting to be part of the Browns anymore because of the Deshaun Watson bullshit.
Requested a trade because they were interested and they were in talks, or they were trying to trade for Deshaun Watson, which would have taken his spot. And I get it. He's like, I don't want to be here. And what did they say? What was the Browns' response?
Well, they did say that they're obviously. I mean, what are they going to say? They said they're not going to trade him now
because that shit fell through.
Yeah. But they did supposedly.
Yes, supposedly, yes.
They did say that they would like a quarterback that acts like an adult. So take that how you want.
That's crazy. But what I was saying earlier is, let them know about Deshaun's no trade clause and how that went into the negotiation.
Well, yeah. So that was the thing where he had a no trade clause, so that's why they had to hand him those 5.
Yeah, they can't trade him. They can't just say, like a lot of players.
Russell Wilson had the same thing where the Seahawks and Denver had agreed on a trade.
Yeah, they have to get. He has to sign off.
Russell Wilson could have walked in and said, "Fuck no,"
and he could say, "No, I'm staying here. I'm going to be a Seahawk for this next season," right?
Or that team's not good enough. I don't want that.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So with Deshaun Watson, he had a no trade clause, like. A lot of players just get a call saying, "Hey, you're traded." Or who was it we just talked about earlier? No, it was like, "Oh, we didn't even hear from the front office."
Oh, Bobby Wagner. That was Bobby Wagner.
Wagner. Yeah, I didn't even hear it from the front office. I heard it from the media. Yeah. So if he would have had a no trade clause, that would have never happened. They would have had to.
Well, with Bobby Wagner, you can still get cut with a no trade clause.
Okay, got you. So yeah, but
I mean, there's players who literally they show up. It's happened. I mean, Belichick's a huge one where fucking Sunday you'll play with him, and then Tuesday you'll get the fucking letter in your locker saying you've been traded to fucking the
Houston Texans,
the worst fucking team in the league.
Yeah.
Bro.
So the Commanders,
but then just at least with Deshaun, he was able to. Playing his direction.
Yeah, that's cool. They did that. And they've played it cool the whole time. When the allegations started, and then they could have cut him. They could have done a lot of shit or suspended him.
Oh, they could have just straight tied like a.
Yep, because of the allegations. But obviously, they knew something that we don't. The NFL was investigated, knows something that we don't, which is that he's most likely innocent of all these allegations. Also, they benched him and paid him for the whole season he wasn't even playing, and then gave him the choice of where he was going to go. 5 teams, but
at least at this point, there's double jeopardy, so I don't think he can be tried again.
Well, he wasn't tried though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
They can take it to the grand jury or some shit.
I'm saying at this point there wasn't enough evidence.
Yeah, they can upgrade.
So in Devil's Advocate, you could say he still did it. There's just not enough evidence.
Yeah.
Or he didn't do it.
Yeah.
So I can't definitively say.
Yeah, I did.
That he didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But in our court system, he did what he needed to do. Investigators did what they needed to do. And there wasn't enough evidence.
And investigators from the NFL and from the DA. So there's been multiple agencies working on it.
So to me at this point, play ball.
Yeah,
do your thing.
Fuck it. But Von Miller. You want to talk about that?
Like Von Miller, I think it's wild. We obviously, I say we is Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos traded him to the Rams.
To give him an opportunity.
Give him an opportunity because we knew we could not give him a championship. Because if you look at it, you didn't think he had very many years left.
I still don't think he does. When he went to the Rams and started making an impact, I did not see that coming because he has been injury prone. I think I respect the fuck out of him. I think he's a great player and all that, but I just didn't. I thought he was towards the end of his career, to be honest.
I did too. And so that was my big thing. And it's just tough. And so when he went to LA, I was like, you know what? I understand. Like, we can't give him
respect.
Let him chase one.
Or two. The second one.
Yeah, let him chase one this year. Like, I feel like that was a good idea. And then in their Super Bowl parade, him and Donald were talking about, let's run it back.
Yep.
Run it back. Everybody's chanting, run it back.
During the speech, he said they are running it back.
And then, out of nowhere, 120 over 6 and I was like, damn, the Rams overpaid. And then I was like,
but that's not the Rams.
I said, oh, that was the Bills?
Buffalo? New York? Dude, most people don't understand when you see Buffalo Bills, they don't tie Buffalo with New York.
Right? That's
like, for the longest time, I don't know. Like, when I was younger, I was like, I heard Buffalo Bills. Not once did I think Buffalo Bills, New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, Buffalo sounds like some Montana shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking crazy. He's the highest paid defensive player. No, I'm sorry. Well, he might be. He's the only defensive player to ever have 2 different contracts for over $100 million. That's wild. 6 years, I think that one's the $121 million. For 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has 6 years left in his tank, Big. How old is he? 34? 32. 32, I believe. Which
32, yeah.
In hindsight, that's not old. 32 is not that old. But in sports, especially football,
and you gotta think, so as an edge rusher who's already had some injury issues,
many of them lately.
So you're telling me man's gonna play till 38?
Hell no.
So
hell no.
So I've looked at some things.
He better take that guaranteed.
And so what it says is it's very unlikely that he will reach the end of this contract.
Yeah.
The most likely scenario is that it was written this way as a cap situation.
Ain't that about a bitch?
It's likely that the guaranteed money is an option bonus a year, similar to what they've done in Josh Allen's contract. He'll be receiving a $42 million check this weekend.
Damn.
As part of his contract.
Oh, direct deposit, but yeah.
But the cap is spread out over the remaining 5 years of his deal as a new, in quotes, signing bonus.
The fuck?
These motherfuckers that write these contracts be fucking geniuses with
Cowboys. No, the Cowboys ones are fucking idiots. Well, anyways, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
And they say Miller's number obviously not that big, not 42 a year.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept.
If I was Vaughn, I would hang on till I was 38. I would fucking go out there and just do enough and try to say, get all that fucking paper.
So listen to this.
It's just chicken.
It says eventually, if Miller decides to leave on his own, or the Bills decide to get rid of him, all the money that was spread over and out, the remaining back end, will come due immediately.
Holy shit! So wait, he could just after next season just be like, I'm done, I'm leaving, and then you have to pay him all that?
Yeah, because it's technically a signing bonus that they've staggered out to avoid cap room.
Shit. Another Bobby Bonilla.
If for perspective, the Raiders just signed Chandler Jones.
Oh shit, yeah, Chandler.
He signed a 3-year, $52.5 million contract with 34 guaranteed.
That's what's up.
We don't know how much is fully guaranteed versus rolling guaranteed. Which I've never, before Von Miller's contract,
I've never heard
I've never heard of that either.
I've never heard rolling.
So, Miller's guaranteed money will be all in the first 2 to 3 years.
Damn.
And then after that is when that rolling guaranteed comes into, which I want to look more into.
Dude, the verbiage in these contracts
is getting fucking... So right now, this is what it looks... This is what it's going to look like for Vaughn. If he plays the 2 years, it'll be $16 million a year. If he gets to 3, it'll be 17.6. But if he can make it to 6 years, play the whole contract, it'll bump up to $20 million a year because all that money is backloaded.
That's crazy, dude. That's wild. But I mean, I love how these...
At the end of this thing, it says, after all, Miller is the only defensive player to ever sign 2 $100 million contracts.
That's what I was gonna say. I love how these players sign contracts to break a record to the public, but
it doesn't really matter.
They're loaded to where, like, what's his name? Taysom Hill. They're loaded to look super fucking duper huge, but they're only getting a small percentage of it, you know? And this one, they signed this huge contract knowing he's not going to live out. No, you can't say live out. I apologize. He's not going to, I don't know, but hopefully he doesn't die before. But he's not going to live out on the field to the terms of the full length of it, you know?
Yeah.
But in other news, well, not in other news, but we talked about Baker Mayfield and the Browns and how they didn't get Deshaun. They were in the running. But they did get Amari Cooper. We mentioned last week that the Cowboys were releasing Amari Cooper to free up some cap space. And as a Cowboys fan, like, that sucks. You know, not being able to hear Coop from the crowd every time he gets catches a ball and everything. But he was owed like $20.1 million a season, and we needed to free up some cap space. And to be honest, he really hasn't been producing for us this last season. So was it because he wasn't getting thrown to enough? I don't know. But Amari Cooper, we appreciate your service in Dallas, but I think Big Mike just shitted, which means something big just
okay, so I looked into rolling guarantees. And so it has to do with these roster bonuses. For a lot of us that watch football,
like incentives?
We hear about the roster bonus. Like if like Matt Ryan, $7.5 million roster bonus.
If you're on the team at this,
So crazy shit. This is a breakdown of how the Chiefs structured this 10-year, $450 million contract for Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
So year one, base salary for Patrick Mahomes, less than $1 million.
What the fuck?
But his roster bonus for that year, $22 million.
Oh, doesn't hit cap space.
The roster bonus does not hit the cap space the way that. So
the roster bonus, for those of you who don't know, is if you're still on the team at this date, you haven't been cut, you haven't left, then you get this chunk of money.
Mm-hmm. And so year two, $1.5 million is his base salary. $27.5 is his roster bonus.
Fuck.
That's what they're doing with these rolling guaranteed, is they're hiding all the money in the roster bonus and the incentives, which till right now, like this breakdown, Patrick Mahomes literally, so he'll go $990,000 was the first year.
Yeah.
1.5, 5.5, back down to 2.5, and then 2.5, 2.5, 10, 13, 20, 27, and 38 are his base salaries. So as his base salary trends upward, I know there's a year where it goes up and then back down.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's trending mainly upward to the end of that 10 year.
Oh, yeah.
His roster bonus is trending downward.
Oh.
So what they're doing is, I don't think they expect Patrick Mahomes to play that 10-year contract out.
Or be, well, Tom Brady's laughing.
Yeah, but...
Well, tell him about what the cap means. The salary cap. You know better than I do.
Well, I mean, the salary cap is just a set number that each team can have. So if you have 53 guys, the salary cap has to be... you can't pay those guys more than what your salary is. So the NFL salary cap for 2021 was $182.5 million. And that's not for the full contract, obviously.
That's per team, though.
That's what I'm saying, per team. But it's not like Patrick Mahomes, obviously, his 10 years is worth $450.
Yeah.
The whole 10 years doesn't affect 2021.
Yeah.
Only that $990,000.
Yeah. Each team...
And that's how Tom Brady, for a lot of people, got more people into play with him, is because he was willing to renegotiate
restructure his contracts
for less
lower
base salary.
Yeah.
And he would get the money on the back end type of thing. And so, for these guys, like, if you think about it, motherfuckers over here making $30 million a year, if they were making $30 million base salary, they're eating 1/6 of this whole fucking salary cap.
Yeah.
And so these number crunching accountant motherfuckers on the back end be like, nah, fam.
Figure out tricks and shit.
They over here with their little 10 key, like.
Right. It's just crazy. The salary cap is, you said it's 181 for last season?
82.5 million.
182.5?
Yeah.
That means that they have to have every player on for their base salary, what they're getting paid each season. You have to take the 180, say 2 million, and you have to divide that by 53 and make it work. Some people are getting paid high amounts, which means the bottom barrel of your team is getting paid super low amount, you know? What's an average? That's
less than $3.5 million per player.
Per player. An average of
it was
3 million.
It was 3,433,000, whatever the fuck.
So if you have 53 players on your roster and your salary cap's 182, then that means that they should all be getting paid $3.4 million. But the problem is, you have a superstar that makes 35, which means that the person that's fourth, string or third string is getting paid, 800,000, which is 800,000, I believe. So you have to do the averages. So depending on, excuse me, if you're an owner or a GM and you're looking at your team, depending on how you see these guys and what light, and they might be a god to you, so they might be eating up a huge part of the salary cap, but the person that you don't like the most is getting the shit end of it. It's a game of averages when it comes to the money. And teams can pay over the salary cap. They can very well pay players more and break that salary cap, and instead of paying their players upwards of 180 million combined, they can pay them 200. But what is it, for every million or every 10 million or some shit they spend over the salary cap, they get fined like 100K? I think every million is 100K fine. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But for every dollar you pay over that salary cap for your players. So
in the NFL there, and I double checked before I said this, there is it's a hard cap.
Oh, you can't.
You can't go over it.
Oh.
In the NBA, there is what they call luxury tax.
Okay.
And if you go over the salary cap, then you pay that tax. And that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
So, for those people that care. Football and the NHL have a hard cap.
NHL being National Hockey League.
That means you can't go over it.
Okay.
Period. Like,
you pay somebody too much, oops, you're cutting somebody.
you got to make money.
Yeah.
That's like right now, the Saints have just went and did a lot of restructuring for like 4 different guys, Taysom Hill included, to try to make sure that if Deshaun Watson chooses to come to town,
damn,
they have enough money.
Put yourself in Deshaun's shoes, bro. You're Deshaun Watson, and you've got 2 teams for sure right now, but like the other teams were there. I don't know if they're still there, and these motherfuckers are
Well, they're still there. It's his. He just decided that he doesn't want them.
But yeah, okay, it's 2 teams right now, and they, and these motherfuckers are you're playing not only with your own life, but 106 different players' lives right now, because these motherfuckers are salivating and clamoring on getting you on their team, 2 different teams. So they're restructuring or potentially restructuring deals, telling somebody you need to take less so we can get him here. Like, holy shit! Like, Deshaun Watson has so many 106 fucking 106 lives in his hands. Not only that, but GMs, managers, all this shit. Like, he's affecting probably upwards of 500 people right now
that are just waiting on this decision.
That are waiting. And this affects how much they get paid, if they still have a job, if they're getting fired, if they're getting released, if they're getting traded. It's like LeBron when he did that big-ass showcase and made it a fucking spectacle just to sit down for an hour and said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. You know what I'm saying? It's the same fucking thing. One person is affecting probably more than 500 people's lives. Their families.
Oh, yeah.
The people they take care of. Yeah. And the people they take care of. Their agents, their assistants, their managers, their financial advisors, their fucking nieces, their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man, what's the old song in church? You got the whole world in your... No, but seriously, like, that's a tough decision. But you know what? He's probably not thinking about anybody but himself, which, as being a selfish person, I get. But being devil's advocate, damn, that's tough.
Yeah, back to the salary cap thing. So obviously the NFL, NHL have that hard cap.
Yeah.
The NBA has a cap.
A soft cap, I would say, right?
Yeah, with the luxury tax. So if you go over however many you're taxed.
That's what I
and then we get into baseball, there's no cap.
There's no cap. But
you can pay motherfuckers.
There's a penalty, I thought. Look it up. If I'm not mistaken, I believe
that's why teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers get away with what they do.
But I probably wrong. But I thought I read something not too long ago that there was something in place to combat the no salary cap. I could be wrong, and more times than not, I am wrong. But I don't think there is. But Tyrod Taylor is now. Where did he go? The Dolphins?
No, Giants. He's a Giant.
Sorry, Tyrod Taylor is now a Giant. Julio Jones is expected to be released from the Tennessee Titans, which is crazy because when he was with the Falcons, he was one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Went to Tennessee, who don't run the ball. They've got a great running back. They don't throw the ball. I'm sorry. They got a great running back, so he had the lowest numbers of his career, and he's expected to be released. I think Big's looking up the whole deal with the MLB cap right now.
Yeah, is Major League, a decent-sized segment of the fans seem to believe that all leagues should have a salary cap.
Baseball fans have always thought that.
It says that that the MLB seems like a parody compared to other leagues because the rich teams can do whatever they want.
But you know what? Also, is the MLB is the only team that's all guaranteed, right? Their contracts are fully guaranteed. I
don't know if they're fully. So this thing is, it says when you watch other leagues and watch small market teams, aka the Bucks, just won a championship. you see that the MLB definitely needs a hard cap.
Yeah.
Because the big market teams, aka New York, Boston.
Right. Hey, you need a beer?
No, I'm good at it. Those are the ones who have a lot of what do you call them? Championships.
Yeah.
And
they've got super rich owners.
Yeah, and so in this century, if you look at it, Boston, huge city.
Yep.
They have 4 titles this century. 04, 07, 13, and 18.
Oh, yeah. You're saying this century, I think of the 1900s for some reason. But yeah, no, we're in the 2000s.
The San Francisco Giants, they have 3.
In
10, 12, 14.
And they're not as big of a market.
Well, I mean, San Francisco.
Yeah, but market is in television?
No, well, this is a city.
Yeah.
And then you have the Yankees. They have 2. This is where you start to get, you have the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Still kind of big. They have 2, 06 and 11.
Yeah.
And then you have Arizona Diamondbacks. They have
smaller,
1.
Smaller, yeah.
You have the Angels. The Angels from Anaheim, that's still a bigger area.
Yeah, but LA, the Dodgers.
But the Dodgers dominate that area.
Fucking shit on it, yeah.
And then you have Miami Marlins. Like, these teams only have 1. That's what we're saying is the top teams, Red Sox, Giants, Yankees, which, and if you think about it, the big anomaly here for me is the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Because their contracts their cap is huge.
Yeah.
And their only title was 2020 in this century.
It was a COVID fucking title, so it should have an asterisk, and fuck the Dodgers, that's all you gotta say.
But, so, we were focused more on cap room, so normally
fuck the Dodgers.
in MLB, the big money teams are able to come in and take over.
Well, it's like the movie Moneyball about the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah.
And about how they're one of the smallest markets. And great movie. Y'all should watch it if you haven't seen
Super
it.
good movie.
And like fucking, and it's based on a true story. Got Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill.
Skinny
Great.
Jonah Hill or skinnier Jonah Hill.
Was he?
Yeah, that was one of the first movies where he had like lost some a bunch of
people
weight.
were like, oh, he's on that Hollywood cocaine.
And people were like, well, he's not as funny. And I'm like, bro.
Oh yeah. You're only funny if you're fat.
I'm like, bro. Like, first off, that movie's not supposed to be a funny movie.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? So, like, back to some NFL free agency. Obviously, we talked about Von Miller.
Yep.
Devontae Adams moving around. Some big names on, especially.
Hey, Jonah, I just looked it up. Jonah Hill was not fucking skinny. Skinnier in that movie.
I don't know. I swear he was in an interview talking about how like that's when he started losing weight, and people
It probably
were like,
was.
People were like, "You're less funny now," because he started to lose
I know. I
weight.
saw some interviews for that shit too.
So J.C. Jackson, which was a corner everybody was watching. Chargers.
Yeah.
Patriots went for Patriots. Chargers signed a $82 million contract for 5 years.
Talk about that division.
God, dude, I've literally heard analysts now refer to it, instead of the AFC West, it's the AFC Best. Because like if you look at it, 4 teams.
Yeah.
At this point,
power moves.
Like if you just look at this, starting quarterbacks for all 4 of those teams: Broncos, Russell Wilson; Chargers, Justin Herbert; Raiders, Derek Carr; Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Those 4 guys, like if you look at that, Russell Wilson, if he wins another ship, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like you can't argue that. Like right now, maybe not. Like you don't know where his career is going to end. But if he wins a championship before the end of his career, he has 2.
Yeah.
And he did it with 2 different teams. Like, man, Herbert's young, just trying to fuck the whole league up.
He almost did too. And
then you got Carr, who sometimes the Raiders are like, this our guy.
That's the Raiders for you.
Then the other times you're like, maybe not. And then you got Mahomes over here, who, if his fucking
shit the bed
fiance and his fucking brother will just,
his sister
will just leave him the fuck alone, he'd be good, right?
Yeah.
So that division And that's not the only.
And the Raiders have Chandler Jones on defense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not the only shit that like teams have added. Like
They're more than we could even come up with.
Like JC, obviously, Chargers added JC Jackson, which is literally he was the number 3 in the top 100.
That's wild.
Free agents for corner, and then Chandler Jones was added to the Raiders. The Broncos added Randy Gregory.
Hold on. Like that Randy Gregory shit was wild too, because after last season or more recently, he had said he was going to retire. Which I'm a Cowboys fan, you know. Obviously, we were like, all right, whatever. The Cowboys still own the rights to his contract, this, that, and third. And then he came back, started negotiating a deal. This is all what I've read. Negotiating a deal with the Cowboys, and then came to an agreement. Everything was saying he was signing a deal with the Cowboys, an extension. I was so excited, blah, blah. And then there was reports that came out and said that he had, you know, completely agreed to sign with the Cowboys and then basically shit on them and turn around and sign with the Broncos when he was supposed to be signed with the Cowboys. And then reports came out saying that he had accepted from the Cowboys a deal that was like $5 to $7 million less than the Broncos, agreed to the contract on a handshake, and then when they sent the contract to be written, that it came back, and before his agent or lawyer, or attorney, I guess, lawyer had signed, he read through it, and there was verbiage that was not there that they agreed upon. This verbiage being, excuse me, that if Randy Gregory was suspended or fined for any reason, that he could lose all of his bonuses or incentives, okay? And they basically made it out to be to where they were like, what the fuck? Like, this is not what we agreed to, and then hit Denver and like, nah, fuck that, we're signing with you. But I also heard reports that Jerry Jones had come out and said that this is verbiage that they use in all of their contracts, and he was very aware of it and just switched up. Then, like, me and Big Mike were on the phone yesterday and the day before, and we were talking about the same story because he's a Broncos fan, I'm a Cowboys fan, and this has to do with both of our teams. And I was like, I heard that Jerry Jones was livid that the contract got changed and that heads were rolling. But now new information has come out that Big has informed me of, which makes it look like Randy Gregory's side might be stretching the truth or lying. But you want to go ahead and fill them in on that?
Yeah, I saw something that literally said that if you look in all of the Cowboys contracts except for one, which is Dak Prescott's new contract, they all have that same verbiage.
All of them.
All of them except for Dak Prescott. Which, if that's the case, Randy Gregory already knew that verbiage was in there.
Yeah.
Because he's had a contract with the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Or even if his old this is newer for all the Cowboys, which it couldn't be, but he shouldn't have lied and said it was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing is, if there's anybody on the Cowboys that needed that verbiage,
or deserves it,
it is probably Randy Gregory.
Always suspended, always fined. He's had PED suspensions. He missed a season and 6 games due to suspensions. He had off the field issues coming out of college, and no team wanted to draft him, and we took a chance on him. We as the Cowboys, Cowboys fan, and this, that, and third. But I don't know what to think anymore. I hear conflicting.
And that's the thing is, it's the same thing. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson says that Seahawks were done with him.
Yeah.
Seahawks say that he was done with them. Yeah. Like, will we ever know the full fucking story? Maybe. Probably fucking not.
One day when they retire.
But yeah, it's one of those things like, yeah, we'll know maybe in 10 years. But that's just how it is in the business.
And Julio Jones still hasn't been officially released? Is that what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, so I looked it up because, like I said, we had seen some things. Supposedly, he has not been officially released. There are sources that say that the Titans are leaning towards releasing him, which, They traded for him,
Yeah.
obviously from the Falcons.
And he had lowest numbers of
He
his
only
career.
played 10 games.
He had a fight with the coach, like almost was it physical?
Probably.
Him and the coach, I believe, got into a shoving match on the sideline.
But he only played 10 games. He had career lows, 31 receptions, like 440 yards. And
That's crazy.
and only one touchdown in 10 games.
Well, because all they do, Derrick Henry
But
runs
and that's
the
the
ball.
thing is, you gotta look at it this way. He went from a Matt Ryan offense
Yeah.
where that's pass, run
Mm-hmm.
to a Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill offense where it's run, pass, run. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, the Falcons game is so pass heavy that they lost the Super Bowl because of it. All they do was start handing it off and wasting clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like-
Against the Patriots.
like that offensive coordinator
28-3.
couldn't switch his pass heavy brain. Like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here.
That's exactly what it was.
But so that's what I'm saying. So I don't I'm not saying that he still can't put up numbers.
Oh no, it's
I
just
just
be in the
think-
right system.
Julio, that's not the right. I mean, you have Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball. Like, not saying that Ryan Tannehill's the worst, whatever, blah blah blah. But Matt Ryan
Yeah,
and Ryan Tannehill,
yeah.
those are different levels of quarterback.
Tom Brady needs to recruit Julio to Tampa.
Does he have
to
room?
Tampa Bay. Well, they got rid of AD. I'm sure Julio would take not a minimum, but take a lower salary to go chase another or chase a ring. He hasn't had one. I mean,
But I mean, like, if you think about it, he had, like, obviously, if Gronk comes back, you have Gronk at tight end.
yeah.
And then
But you have Cameron. What's his last
Cameron Bray?
name? Bray. Yes, he's a tight end.
Yeah,
For the
and well,
Bucs.
and then you have, if you look at Buccaneers, Godwin just resigned.
He did.
You
Mike
have,
Evans.
You have Mike Evans. You have Scotty Miller,
Yeah.
who thinks he's faster than Tyreek Hill.
Well, no, Micah Parsons is. I mean, did you see the All-Star race? Micah Parsons did it. He beat everybody.
And so, and then you have, Tom Brady just recruited,
Was it a defense player, right?
no, that other receiver.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The one that...
I'm pretty sure he was a Falcon.
I think he was.
If I'm Russell Gage. Yeah, he played for the Falcons the last 4 years. And he had
Yeah, decent numbers.
770 last year and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Um,
And Tom Brady knows talent when he sees it.
on 12 yards of reception. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if Tom Brady's texting you saying, "Hey, bro, we need you over here in Tampa Bay,"
You're like, oh, shit, babe, I'm out.
like, not only are you jumping at the chance to play with Tom Brady,
You're dropping your kid on his head and running.
but obviously Tom Brady sees something
yeah.
in that kid.
Exactly. But Julio... Sorry, go ahead.
So it's like, is there room for Julio? That's my question.
Yeah.
Is there, like, obviously most locker rooms would love to have Julio.
Yeah.
And even AJ Brown of the Titans
Yeah.
tweeted, because of all the rumors, that in the short amount of time that they've been together, Julio has taught him so much.
Let's talk. AJ Brown's a fucking stud, dude. I took the wife to a Raiders Oakland because we live in Northern California. Took her to the last Oakland Raiders game where I think it was preseason. We went to was against the Titans, and we had those nice. We had the suite, box seats and whatnot, and that was like AJ Brown's breakout game. Like he scorched the Raiders for like 180 yards and fucking it was fucking crazy. But sorry.
Yeah, so he came out, and so it's like Julio still has the capability, but I don't see the Buccaneers as his place. Honestly, I think it would really need to be what Bengals might not be a bad spot.
Or back to the Falcons.
I don't know. I don't know if there's bad blood. I don't know.
I'm
if
not
there is
saying
or
it would
isn't.
be a good spot, especially if Deshaun Watson goes there. Back to the
If you
Falcons.
think
would be
about
good.
it, I'm thinking about the veteran guy
of what they have
Julio
now.
Jones.
Yeah.
So it's like Jamar Chase is there, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
You bring in Julio to not only be a threat, obviously, but Julio also can coach up Jamar Chase, who already had a fucking
offensive rookie of the year,
phenomenal year. It's like, okay, this guy's great, but if we inject a little Julio into him,
it sounds really gay. Pause.
But like, if you think about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you.
It would be like you have ball and receiver, and you got Randy Moss on the end of his career.
Yeah.
You can bring Randy Moss in. He can teach your rookie or your young guy a few things, and give you a threat.
Absolutely, that'd be dope. That'd be super dope.
Right here, right now. If Julio Jones gets cut and then signs with the Bengals, bro.
Called it right there. Big Mike called that shit.
I'm like Simpsons level fucking shit, right?
I don't know about that, but real quick, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are now the new Monday Night Football commentators, but nobody gives a fuck about that, so we're skimming through that. And the last thing I have on my list is Tom Brady and that touchdown ball, bro. You know all about that. You informed me of this. You touch on that.
Yeah, we can wrap it up with this. This is a perfect wrap up.
This shit's fucked up for somebody.
So obviously, Tom Brady lost in the playoffs. Threw some touchdowns, whatever, blah, blah. Retired. Boom. Said, I'm done with football. Walking away. That last football that he threw a touchdown for in the playoffs went up for auction. Blah, 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 whatever. Ends up getting bought for $515,000. Okay, honestly, for a Tom Brady final career touchdown ball, I thought the number was kind of low. If you really think about it, like the GOAT, $515,000 for his last touchdown of his career.
And it being a playoff?
Like, to me, I was like, all right, 515, you know that shit's going to be worth a couple million in a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But my other side of my brain said, really? Because right now, Tom Brady, like, all we've been hearing is this whirlwind of how he's coming back.
Everything's pointing to it. About
and
being
so,
a 49er.
And so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not the investor that bought it. Whatever. I'm not the collector. Maybe they know more than I know. Blah, blah, blah type of...
They got that much money to spend on it? I would hope so.
Then Tom Brady announces he's coming back. And now, the articles that I've read appraise it because it's a playoff ball from Tom Brady. If Tom Brady throws one touchdown, that's what he has to do. Tom Brady, the GOAT, has to throw one touchdown this whole season. And it devalues that ball from $515,000 to around $50,000.
Fuck. Worst investment ever. Worst investment since OBJ and Bitcoin.
Facts. But, like, my big thing is, I understand we want that, you want that ball.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a Tom Brady fan or you're just a sports fan in general, and you can get your hands on that ball. But, first off, whoever auctioned it in the middle of this, fucking genius.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Whoever it was. I don't know who.
Like fucking, there's rumor. Get it gone.
Yeah. But I don't care how much of a fan I am.
Not 500,000.
I don't think, knowing that the potential for him to come back, I couldn't buy it and say, look, this is his last touchdown. Because there had been not just rumors, like there's guys who were saying indefinitely that they believed he would come back and play for the 49ers.
They had heard through the grapevine from him
that he was coming back to at least play football. To at least play football, but a lot of them pointed to him trying to get on the Niners so he could play for that team that he's always wanted to play for.
Like Marshawn, born and raised in Oakland, played for the Bills and the Seahawks, won, championships, and then played for the Oakland Raiders, knowing that he probably wasn't going to win another championship, just to X off his bucket list, his dream growing up. And Tom Brady's from Northern California, from the neighboring area of San Francisco, diehard Niners fan. He actually went to the Super Bowl with his dad when he was 4 or 6 years old, and I watched the pass from Joe Montana to Dwight Clark, the tight end Dwight Clark, over the Cowboys. He watched that shit. So
it's hard for you to say, huh?
It's bitter as fuck as a Cowboys fan, but it is what it is. But so he wanted to cross that shit off his bucket list. Everything pointed.
That's what everything pointed to.
Everything pointed to it.
So even if, God forbid, he didn't play for a Buccaneer, everything pointed to he would be back in the NFL this year.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be going out there and buying his last touchdown ball, knowing like all of that.
But when was the auction? Do we know this? Was it before or after the rumors? Well, I mean, the rumors started like right after he announced.
And honestly, a lot of the rumors. So he retired, and a lot of the rumors. I don't know if you saw any of these articles.
Week.
So his last playoff game, Tom Brady got his first ever unsportsmanlike conduct ever.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so if that happens, you get fined.
Yeah.
Any unsportsmanlike, it's a fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a $15,000 for your first one or whatever. But with Tom Brady retiring, they can't find him.
Oh, I don't know that.
Because he's gone. Like he's not, it'd be like your job trying to get mad at you after you quit.
Like firing you. Yeah. Fired, bitch. I quit. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's wild.
And so people, right after he got fined, or after he got...
He pulled a Gronk, but go ahead.
He did. Right after that happened, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm retiring, blah, blah, blah. People believed it was to try to get out of paying the unsportsmanlike. There was so many rumors flying around.
I never saw that. That's wild.
That was the reason. Because if he retires, they can't find him.
That's
and then if he comes
hilarious.
back, they can't find him for something because they didn't already try to find him.
Because he got rehired. That's fucking hilarious. You can't fire me after I quit and I got rehired. What? And he's that motherfucker. Tom Brady, in a nutshell,
since he left,
is that fucking petty.
And since he left the Patriots, that motherfucker's turned into a whole new motherfucker.
What do we say? He's always on that bullshit. He talking that shit.
And so, yeah, so that's... I don't believe that he was like, oh, that ball's going up for auction. Boom, blah.
But you know what? The new Tom Brady, he might have. He might say, oh, I'm back. Throw one touchdown and be like, yeah, retire again.
Oh, no.
He's on his bullshit. That's fucking... I didn't know that. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, no, there was... And he never said that, you know what I mean? There was nothing from his camp.
He will, but not for a while. He will.
There was nothing from his camp that said anything like that. It was just the speculation started. Yeah. And then I saw a thing, speaking of retirement, that said like things that lasted longer than his retirement. And it was like
my sex life?
The MLB...
For what?
The MLB lockout.
Shit.
It was like Kim, was it Kim's marriage to Chris Humphries?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
days.
Yeah, like that was on the list. There was like this huge list, bro. I was like, God dang, bro, like
that's crazy.
Yeah, so
that's wild.
But so whoever bought that ball was
man, I feel bad for you. Hopefully you have well, if you bought it for 500 and some thousand, then you've got
you got money.
Unless that was all you had and you were banking on this to blow up, then you're a dumb motherfucker, but you had money. Maybe it was somebody that, cashed in their Bitcoin.
Hey, they would have had to have a lot of Bitcoin.
Right. Actually, well, yeah, now that, yeah, you're right. But anyways, I think that's where we're ending it, right?
Yep.
All right, that's episode 31. Big.
Much love to everybody hanging around. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, turn on that bell.
Please share, yes.
Wherever you're at, turn on the notifications. Much love. We'll see you next week for episode 32. Peace.